Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. It is season 9, episode 4, and by the looks of it, the dives are going absolutely nuts. I'm hoping that the microphone is set to the right settings and whatnot. I completely forgot to do a sound check thing again. I keep saying I'm going to do it. I never really do. I always forget. I just kind of simply go. So if you can't hear me, let me know. But yeah, good evening, everyone. Thanks for coming in. I'm not going to go through everyone that's in the chat, but thank you for coming in, everyone. It is great to see you all here. How's everyone doing? Send me some comments. Let me know how things are. If you've got any problems, issues, or just want to chat about some ants, put it in the comments and we'll see what's going on. So we've got some updates here over at Ants on the Rock headquarters. We have been working hard, as you know, for the end of the month. We have a massive product release coming, loads and loads and loads of products. It's absolutely insane. We're working all hours of the day and the night, it seems. But you will already notice that there's some changes happening on the website, and this is just simply to accommodate all the new products and everything that's going to be uploaded. We don't want it to be like completely overwhelming, so we sort of set new menus and categories and things like that, and it'll just make it a little bit easier. So if you've got any, like, if you check out the website either on the mobile or on the browser, let me know what you think. I can always do a feedback, if you know what I mean. See if it's working, if there's anything that doesn't function properly, or if you just think it's too cluttered or whatever. Just let me know what your kind of feedback is. I always appreciate that. And I do like to act on feedback as well. But whilst we're in the middle of changing it, may as well ask people's opinions. So we have started consolidating some of the care guides into like simpler pages and things like that. You'll find your way around, and you'll notice a difference if you've been on the website a lot. If you haven't been on the website much, check it out and send me some feedback anyways. It's always worth hearing people's opinions. So yeah, that's been going on. It's been challenging because it's been like there's so much to do. I've almost had to deconstruct like half the website and rebuild it like that, and it's been a lot of work. So like, yeah, it's been good fun. I'm really excited about releasing all these products. I am holding off about letting out too much information. I will. No, I better. I really want to tell you all about it, but I can't until later on in the month. We will be letting some pictures out and little bits of information later on in the month, but right now we are keeping things right under wraps. There's a lot of new products. It's going to be super exciting. Tom, the website is a bit buggered, as you can scroll side to side, and right is just right. Is that on the mobile or on the like desktop version and store? So I shall have a look at that. See, it keeps going. Like I do one thing on like the desktop version, and it will send the mobile version completely haywire. So I'm literally putting that on my notebook now to have a look at it. Web site on the desktop on the Queen page. As you can scroll side to side, and the right is just right. I'll have a look at the end of this stream. Thank you for checking it out and getting back to me straight away. So you can see we're making changes, and like I say, not everything works straight away. Our little symbol to say that we're on Trustpilot, it's only showing like half the symbol. Apparently my coding skills aren't very good, and I can honestly say I've never done coding before having a website. It's not easy. I don't really know what I'm doing. So we're getting there, and we will work it out and make it seamless, obviously. Hopefully by the end of the month for the big product release and get it all going nicely and sorted. But yeah. What am I using, as in what website? Or right, message me and I'll talk to you about it after, Mem. Is that how I pronounce your name? Mem. M-E-M, I suppose. If I pronounce it wrong, you can kick me when you meet me. That's fine. What else have we got going on? So we are busy getting ready for the big IHS show over in Rotherham near Sheffield. It is a big event. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. I think it's on the 17th. So what's that, like 11 days or something like that? I don't know. I think it's on the Sunday. Cookie Reptiles, Paul Cook, you'll have to correct me if I'm getting the details wrong. We will be there. We will be selling on our stall, and it will be absolutely spectacular. Come check it out, basically. Come grab a few bargains. There's going to be loads of different stuff there, and maybe even some sneak peeks of the new products. But probably not loads of them. I don't know. I don't want to say too much again, but there's more than likely going to be a few of the new products for sale at the IHS. So yeah, do pop along if you're in the area. It's going to be a brilliant show. It's like the biggest reptile show in the country, or something like one of them. Maybe I don't want to get in trouble for saying that. So maybe one of the biggest reptile shows in the country. It's massive. There was like thousands and thousands of people there last time, and there's a really cool show. Lots of really cool stuff. Much bigger than my shows, but a very different vibe to my show as well. Where is it and when? It is the 17th, which I believe is next Sunday, at the, I want to say, the Magnus Centre in Rotherham, going off the top of my head. But I honestly can't remember the details. I just I get in the car and tell the driver to go. And it's going to be great fun. So yeah, if you're in the area, pop along. Thank you very much for that, Paul, putting that in. It's gonna be good. We went as guests, like not traders, or I shouldn't say guests, but we went as normal people to the last one, which was in Milton Keynes, and it was a brilliant day. We came back with a new python and some new tarantulas and all sorts of cool bits. But it was just a really great day, so I had to get in there and be like, can we trade with you? And they're like, yeah, don't see why not. So yeah, got in there. I think we're definitely going to be the only ant trader there, and there's not many invert traders. It is a lot more reptiles and stuff like that, but it's definitely worth popping along and having a look, because there is still inverts and stuff as well. Yeah, Milton Keynes is closer to us as well. I mean, we're right down the very bottom of the country. What do you reckon we're going to do it in, Paul? Like 5-6 hours of driving or something to get up there? Last time on the bus, it took us more like 8 hours or something, and then like 12 hours to get back. But it's going to be worth it. It's going to be great fun. We're doing it again in February, of course. It's like 4 hours. There you go. Yeah, like 4 hours, 5 hours drive. Like, it's a long old way, but we'll do it. It's all good. But yeah, like I say, we're going to be back there in February for our show. I have started uploading some of the details of our events to the website now. Tickets are obviously on sale. Don't feel you have to rush out and get them now, because there's absolutely ages until the shows. But the dates are on there. The venues are up, I think. Details are starting to get there. I haven't put any traders on yet, obviously, because it's far too early to unleash any of that information. But we are taking some awesome bookings already. Most of the shows are pretty much like over half full already with traders. And our big Bristol show in... Good evening, Katrina. Thank you for coming in. Our big Bristol show in Bristol is going to be crazy. And Dorset, there might be like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I'm not going to say anything right now. But Ant Dorset comes to a lot of the shows, and he's always welcome to our shows. He's like, we like Ant Dorset because we like the... What was it we said? I had this conversation with someone when we watched your video. We like the style of videos because they're like just kind of honest and non-biased, if you know what I mean. They're just kind of, this is it, and like we just like the style of videos. So yeah, Ant Dorset's always welcome at our shows. You come with incredible, no, not incredible inverts. It's inverts of interest. Sorry, my brain's all over the place today. You come with inverts of interest. Again, a store well worth checking out. They do lots of cool stuff like millipedes and the starter kits for them. So yeah, if you do want to get millipedes, check out inverts of interest. Or obviously, if you come along to our shows, check them out. I think inverts of interest, without putting too much out there, is going to definitely be at some of the shows next year as well. So what else is there to say? So yeah, the big Bristol show. Let's talk a bit about Sheffield, then we'll talk about Weymouth, then we'll talk about the big Bristol show. So Sheffield is going to be like 25 to 30 traders, mainly going to be inside. There is going to be food on site as well, mainly going to be inside because of it's in February. It's going to be cold, So it's gonna be cold. We're gonna keep everything pretty much inside. But then we get to the Weymouth one, and we are gonna start getting outside areas as well, which is really cool. We're adding an outside area to our events, which means we will be able to provide hot food as well. We might be having hot food at our Sheffield Rotherham event, but I don't want to promise that just yet because we're working on that. But there will be hot food at the Weymouth and the Bristol event. So we have a small outside area for the Weymouth event and a much bigger, like a massive outside area for the big Bristol event in. I do endorse it. I can find it in 2 seconds. Big outside area for the big Bristol event in August, and obviously, well, we're super excited about that. I completely forgot what it's not that one. It's but my brain's gone dead at the minute. It'll probably be on the website, is it not? Should be on the website. I'm going to go on the website and actually find it. S661JL in Wickersley, the Wickersley Sports Centre school thing. It's actually in Rotherham rather than Sheffield, but it's in the not a bad part of Rotherham. Don't worry about it. It's right off the motorway, which is spectacular, on a dual carriageway with a bus stop right outside. So we can't really get a better sort of transport links and location. There's parking on site and everything, etc., etc. So it is going to be a really good event. But yeah, it is going to be cold. This year when we went up there was snow on the ground like a week before because I did like a dry run sort of to see how long it was going to take. And then that's the February event in, that's our February event, man. Thank you, Paul, getting that up for me again. Okay, yeah. It was. I did the dry run, and there was snow on the ground, and I was like, "Oh dear!" But luckily, when we actually went up, the snow had all sort of disappeared. But it was still very cold. We slept on the bus, and it was very, very cold. And then we got there the next day, and it was just like, "Whoa, we are tired." But yeah, it's gonna be a great time. Gonna be a great event. I don't know what else to really say at this point. You know, the sort of drill. We like to have our stages packed with stuff, demos around the room, lots of traders, lots of interesting stuff going on. And we will be adding in some more features as well, which I will be talking about at a later date. But again, I'm not going to give too much away just yet. I want to advertise it on a much larger scale. I've got to get all the posters made, if you know what I mean. And I can't go giving away all the information before the posters are ready. You know what I mean. So I will update you more as time goes on. We were sort of rambling about. Wow, the leaf cut. I just put in some leaf for the leaf cutters about 10 minutes before we started this stream. They're going absolutely nuts. You think the dives are going nuts. The leaf cutters are pretty much doing the same right now. So let's talk about the leaf cutters. The leaf cutter fungus, as you know, suffered greatly. About a week or two ago, we were having issues, and it turned out that the heat probe monitor had slipped away from the enclosure, and we had just basically cooked the fungus for a few days. It's fine now. It's doing much better. They've got rid of all the dead fungus, and that has it's made a massive pile in the rubbish kind of outworld, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, the leftover fungus is quite healthy looking. It's got a nice shade of green to it now, where they are taking the leaves and mulching it down on top, which means it will grow, you know, it will make its comeback and they'll survive. The main thing is now I've got to just keep throwing in leaves so it grows back really fast, because there's a lot of ants in there and they're all relying on it for like food and bringing up the brood, and obviously all of that will use up fungus as well. So it's like you need to produce it faster than they're going to eat it and use it at this stage. They should be fine. You know, the fungus grows quite fast if the environment is correct. Obviously, leaf cutters are quite difficult. We don't have many issues with them, but we do have more issues with them than most of the other colonies. If the temperature or anything like that goes, then that is the result. The fungus starts to suffer. Let's talk a little about the Polyrachus dives that we're looking at right now. Obviously, we've just put some sugars, some of our ants and rock candy mix on this bridge, and that is why they have come swarming on it. But honestly, I didn't expect this sort of reaction because it was just a day or so ago they finished a whole big bottle. Like I just put in the whole bottle. Basically, I got one of our big, I think the 100 ml bottles, right? I put cotton like you do in the test tube. I put the cotton blocker in the end of the bottle and I just put the bottle in and they drank the whole thing in like 3 days. And it's just like, oh my, like, what? That's a lot of sugars. Like, they literally could go through liters in like a week or two. So I've just dripped it on here, thinking they weren't going to overly react. But again, they've gone nuts for it, and there's loads of them. But they're always hungry, as like you may have seen in the latest video. We actually released a video for like the first time in what, like 3 months, 6 months, probably a long time. Feels like a long time. But we done a video for the first time in like in time, in a long time, and you might have seen it, you might not, but if you haven't, so the Polyrachus dives have decided to build a satellite nest in the Colosseum, which is in tank number 3, because obviously this bridge right here is the connection point between 3 different tanks. They go between the tanks in this open air situation and just climb about. And yeah, so we've got one tank above, one tank below to the left, one tank below to the right, and they all live in the one below to the right, but now they've built a satellite nest in the one above. We were actually really expecting them to build a satellite nest in the bottom left hand tank for quite a while now. We've been saying it wouldn't surprise us because they've been sort of gathering up in one of the corners, and they're just like, you look down the side and there's just bundles and bundles of them all the time. But basically I looked in there like one morning and was just like, hang on, good evening, Antisocial, thanks for coming in, buddy. I was just like, hang on a minute, what have they done? They've built a satellite nest literally overnight. Like, I think it was the night after a stream, actually. No, was it? I can't remember. I done something, but it was literally so fast. We were like, where did that come from? And yeah, it's crazy. So there's going to be queens in both nests now, and it's just like, are they going to like double in size from what they are already? Because that could be an issue. Then I'm going to have to start putting shelves up along the wall and attaching more tanks. I don't really feel tunnels would work in with these. You know, they're not. Excuse me, that came out of nowhere. They're not used to tunnels. They're used to climbing on branches and things like that. So I think more open air situation branches are going to work. But it's just going to be insane. But to be honest, the problem with tunnels, everyone wants to use tunnels, right? And like put nests all around the house and have the ants running around. Tunnels are great, but some ants won't actually forage that far. Some species, yes, they will go like 20, 30 meters from the nest. Some species will only travel like 2 or 3 meters, and like they're not going to use massive tunnel systems all around the room. And other ones are going to go so far that by the time they come back, their pheromones would have changed and they'll end up at war with them anyways. And to be honest, like, as cool as it is, tunnels can quite often cause issues anyways because of the mold situations inside, etc., etc. They can just be a nightmare. So it is cool, but I think open air bridges is definitely the way I'm going to keep going for now. Mesa are horrible with their tube. They either nest in a lot or not at all. Yeah. Mesa are really funny, actually. They're well known for, if there's a slightest issue, they'll just move straight out into the outworld. Even though Mesa queens absolutely hate the light, like more than most species. Most species, you can take the tinfoil off and they'll sort of like run about a little bit, like not panicked, but they won't be too bothered. Mesa, you take the foil off and normally they run straight into the new tube or whatever you're offering in darkness because they hate the light. They don't even let the red light work. Like, it's rubbish, right? So yeah, but quite often you'll find them in the outworld, and then a day or so later you tend to find the queen dead because she stressed herself out from going in the outworld. It's like, well, you know what you're doing. Come on. Like, it is normally like there's just the slightest little thing wrong with the test tube, or not even a test tube. Sometimes it's just random. In fact, I was speaking to someone earlier today, and like they had, I think it was Nico's, and both their Nico queens. They had a 2-queen colony. One queen died like last week, and then one queen died this week. And it's like, why? And we went through pretty much everything, and we cannot work it out. So I'm pretty much just going to say, like, I don't know. It could be the environment, it could be bad luck, but not all queens do make it. But yeah, right. Add a tank with a tall plant in it and see if they nest. Well, not a third nest, Paul. You're just trying to encourage the madness now. Which isn't a bad thing, you know. We enjoy the madness here. In fact, this is the madness. Like when we did the Bristol show, Paul went and got me, was it a Mexican red knee or a red and white? Mexican red and white, Brazilian red. I forget what. Is that, no matter who, my brain's gone. He got me a tarantula, basically, and like I came back with a second tarantula, and it's like we're just getting more tarantulas and more tarantulas. In fact, you might have even seen on my video last night, was it? I think it might have been last night, might have been the night before. My brain, like, every day just sort of molds into one at the minute because we're just hectic busy. But yeah, we've been feeding lots of tarantulas, slowly getting through. It's like I said the other day, it's like a bridge. By the time you got again at the other end, if you know what I mean, because there's so many animals here at the minute. Male menopause. I don't think it's male menopause. It's just like overtired, like underfed. Like, I don't know. Is that thing? Yeah, that's a thing. Overtired, underfed, and just like the thing is, right. So here, this is how to describe it. So if you're trying to work out my brain, right? My brain is like if you put on Cradle of Filth with Dream Theater and some hip hop on top of, like, all playing at the same time. That's sort of what's going on in my brain. Like, it's just crazy. I think that's the right kind of a good metaphor for it. There you go, Brazilian red and white. Thank you, Paul. That's why Paul's here, because he's going to keep me on the straight and narrow. Everything I don't know, Paul will know. I hope. Pressure there, Paul. Pressure. So what else have we got to talk about? So obviously we are going to the IHS show, which is all the way up the country. If you are coming along, or if you want to, if you are along the way, basically, get in on the shop and buy a gecko, or get in contact with Paul and buy a gecko, and we can drop it off to you if it is convenient, or you can meet us near the IHS show and get a gecko from us there, because we do not send the geckos in the post. It's another opportunity for you to get one from us direct. So get in contact with either me or, even better, Paul from Cookies Reptiles. Great selection of geckos and other cool things, obviously. What else is there to talk about? There's a few other smaller things to talk about, but nothing massively. It's mainly just that, really. Has anyone got anything they want to talk about or want to ask me or anything? I don't know. She goes minute or in there because I'll mess with the latest manic. I'm just making sure I haven't missed anything in the chat. I'm literally sat here sweating right now. It's so hot in this room. I'm going to say as well, whilst we're on it, Royal Mail suck at the minute. So everything. Good evening, Leanne. Thank you for coming in. They're doing really well. Right, I'll talk about the spiders in 2 seconds. Let me just go over Royal Mail. Everything that we're sending, like first class next day, should turn out the next day. Seems to be taking like 2-3 days, sometimes even a week at the minute. It is very painful. Please do feel free to message me if you're worried about your parcel, or if it turns up and anything is not doing too well, feel free to message me straight away, of course. Once it is in the post, there's not a lot I can do more than tracking it and sending them emails complaining. But yeah, most things are turning up like within a few days, and the ants and whatnot are completely fine. But I am just making sure everyone's aware that there is like some sort of delay happening. I don't know why, but it really does suck. The other thing that really sucks at the minute is this has never happened before. Quite often we do a click and collect thing where the postman will pick up the parcels for us from our house and take them away. He normally brings the labels with him, so we put like a little sticky label on each one with each person's name, so he knows whose label goes on where. He's got some wrong, hasn't he? He's got some mixed up. So that's a nightmare. First time it's ever happened. I don't think I'm going to trust him to do it again, though, because it's an absolute nightmare. Basically, someone's ended up with someone else's parcel and someone else has ended up with their parcel, so we're going to have to swap them over somehow. It's just like, for Pete's sake, like, you've got a few jobs, but come on, Mr. Postman, like, that's just making my life difficult. So yeah, Royal Mail suck at the minute. I will be, obviously, we normally only post live things out on Wednesdays, but because of this mix-up, I will be posting out live things tomorrow on a special delivery to make sure that they get there on the next day, guaranteed before 1 p.m. You're more than welcome to place an order tonight, and we will send it out tomorrow as well, or early hours. If you place it early hours of the morning, you know what I mean. We're still sending live out tomorrow, basically, if you want to jump in on that, which we don't normally do on Thursday, because things can sometimes get stuck. But yes, it's been a nightmare. Honestly, it's been an absolute nightmare. And my daughter seems to be trying to break in. Oh, all the kids are back at school. How cool is that? Sorry, Ants Dorset. But you're not really a kid anymore, but all the kids are back at school. It's brilliant. Like, I actually had like at least 10 minutes peace and quiet today. It was nice. So how are the spiders? Spiders are doing really well, actually. The pink toe has made a massive burrow under his cork bark, which is really cool. Generally speaking, they tend to all be doing really well. I've fed all of them. I've fed all of the spiders here at least once so far now. And they're all doing really well. Even all the new ones that I showed you the other day, they're all doing really well. Like, I've not had any issues, not had any run up my arm yet. So yeah, we're having a good time with tarantulas at the minute. Good time. Homeschooling. Yeah, I mean, do you have set term times? Do you go by term times? So, do you have? I mean, you're in America, so that's completely different. Do you have a summer holiday in America? I don't even know how your school system works. Like, so sad, but GCSEs, Ants Dorset. Once you get them out of the way, mate, you're laughing. Concentrate for like this year. Is this your GCSE year? So you're in year 11. So I try not to ask people's ages and stuff, because at the end of the day, I'm not actually that bothered how old you are. You're a decent person, and like, I'll treat you as a decent person, not go treat you as a young person, you know what I mean? I'll just treat you like anyone else. So it really makes no difference to me how old people are generally. Okay, you have a few months off for the summer. Yeah, it is interesting. I've always been interested in homeschooling, because if it's done properly, it is really good, you know. And obviously, I'm highly involved with the homeschoolers locally. We do a lot of events for them and stuff like that. So it has always interested me. Like, they did take summer off. I know they take summer off. But yeah, it does interest me a little bit. We just went back to teaching second grade. Second grade. I'm guessing that's like equivalent to like our primary school sort of age, obviously. Yeah. It's changed a lot since I was at school. Things are very different. Like, I used to get in trouble because I did things differently anyways. You know, did like maths done a certain way. Well, I couldn't do it like that. I did it my way, and it always sort of worked. But I used to get in lots of trouble for it. So, like, looking at the maths they have to do now, it's like, what is going on? Like, I don't know. I'm all right with some of their work. In fact, what was it? Some of their work, like, I'm like, right, hold on, let's see what you gotta do for homework. And then I look at it and I'm like, give me 10 minutes, you sit over there. And then they come back on basically like, I've done it. I said, just don't tell them that I've done it, but it's quite obvious that I've done it. What was it? We had to do like um, that's it. Like last year, they did something called like Enterprise Week, where they have to like come up with a business, work out like the stuff they're gonna buy, how much they're gonna sell it for, etc., etc. You know, I basically come in and I was just like, right, we're gonna do it like this. This is your business plan. This is your projections. Like properly like done that. And then there was another one. It was a music thing where they're supposed to like make like a little music score on basically like a computer software that you make music on. You know the ones. And she showed me and was like, can you help me a little bit with this, Dad? And I was like, yeah, of course I can. And I started messing about. I was like, right, you sit over there. Bear in mind, I did this for like years and years in college, and all of my well, not all of my qualifications, all my early qualifications were in music and music production. So I started messing about on it, and I sat there for probably an hour and a half to 2 hours. I even made my own track, like completely separate to her homework. It was like, yeah, sorry, got carried away with that one. Back to work. So yeah, Enterprise, it is good. I think it is a really good initiative. Like it teaches great skills, you know what I mean? Like, to be honest, they don't teach the sorts of things they should teach in school. They teach a lot of like random knowledge, and it will serve you well. It's more the fact they're teaching you how to learn when you're in school and how to basically conform to a 9 to 5 job. But I've completely lost track of. Yeah, that's it. It teaches you the skills that like how to run a business and like you say, profit and loss margins and all of that lot. You know, it teaches you to do a bit of that. It might get your creative juices flowing as well. You know, you might actually want to become a business owner when you're older. But I think things like that and like how to pay bills and taxes and stuff like that, I think is really valuable stuff that they don't teach in schools that I know of. Maybe some schools do, but where I went to school, they definitely didn't. They should call it like how to survive in the UK. And that's just your lesson. You just go in every day. It's like, right, this is how you pay a mortgage. And this is what happens if you don't pay your mortgage. And like, it just teaches you the basics of life. You know, because there's how to put a washing machine on. I think I was like 14 when I learned that. But like, you should definitely know that. Just it's one of those things you should just know, if you know what I mean. But at what point do you learn it? I don't know. Unless your parents really, I had sort of different upbringing to most, so we won't go into that. How to survive sounds like the Hunger Games. Yeah, that's it. Like, you've just put all sorts of this Boris Johnson and people running around. I've got visions in my brain that I cannot go into on YouTube. You've got classes about bills and stuff. Like, see, America, I think, like, what's your right? So you have to pay for healthcare. I know you got to pay for healthcare. Have you got to pay for education over there? Like, I know it's all very different. It's all very different. Like, have you got anywhere that's had to declare bankruptcy? We've just had a city, like the authority that looks after the city declare bankruptcy. That's insane, isn't it? Oh, you got what is it? Is it Detroit? I think it's Detroit, isn't it? It's is it Detroit? I'm sure it starts with a D. And it's sort of in the middle near that lake on the map. I know where I'm looking. Okay, private school. Yeah, we've got the same sort of situation here then. Fair enough. See, that's not a bad one. But you like, I think the difference for healthcare between the UK and America is insane. What's it like in other parts of Europe? I don't travel much, obviously. I mean, other countries, Thailand, you got to pay. Pretty much everywhere, I think you got to pay. I'm just gonna stay in the UK. That's why I don't travel apparently, because it's expensive if you get ill. And knowing me, I'll probably fall over a curb or something and break my face open. Like, thing is, I don't even drink. So like, if I did an injury like that, it's just because I'm stupid. It's not even because not even because I'm drunk. Yeah, that's it. I mean, it does. It the healthcare over there can be enough to, I think, make a massive impact on someone's like entire life. If you've got to actually pay out for something, if you have a baby, it's going to make a massive difference for a long time. Like, come to the UK just to have babies. I don't know. Is the UK the only place with free healthcare? I mean, well done, UK, but my God, we're falling apart on everything else, aren't we? All of our schools, in fact, all of our schools are falling apart. And Dorset, if you see any crumbling roofs and stuff, run like heck. Schools are falling apart. You probably know all about it because you're a smart lad. But if you don't know about it, basically, out on concrete like back in like the 70s or something, and all the schools are about to fall down, and loads of government buildings and hospitals and stuff. It's like, what? Like, come on. I was in one of those schools, and like, I'm sure the school I was in is probably about to fall down. It looked awful when I was in there. I think that was just a view of a teenager in school, to be fair. Every school's going to look like that. Have a baby and you're paying for that baby. Yeah, that's it. I mean, you got to pay twice for it over there. You're paying for it, definitely. You paid off your daughter when she was like 3. Could you imagine that? I had 3 kids in 3 years. Well, was it 3 years? About 4.5 years. Like, I'd be bankrupt. You'd never get your foot off the ground again. You know what I mean? You'd never. It would really. I don't know. I don't know what the wages are like. I'd have to like take a full look at the economic situation, but I'm sure it puts you in a worse place than over here. I mean, that's just mad, isn't it? It gets rid of the culture of how like. Oh, I'm not even going to go into it. But that's madness. Back to ants for a minute. These ants are going absolutely insane, aren't they? Like, I think they're trying to find the last little smithereens of sugars and stuff. Yeah, they are cheaper. I'll give you that. Houses in America are slightly cheaper, and I think bigger. You get more land for your money in America because obviously in the UK everything's a bit cramped. Like, that's the thing about colonizing a country. Like, what, 500 years ago, somewhere between that. You got a lot more time to plan. you know Modern streets and whatnot. Oh, what was it? So this is really random, and I know we were talking about Milton Keynes earlier. So I just scrolling across the maps like I do on a random basis, and I looked at Milton Keynes, and on a map that looks really good. It's all straight lines and roundabouts. Apparently it's a one-way system, which is awful, but it looks really good on the map. People going to the doctors for steam. Yeah, that's it. I expect it gets rid of a lot of that, but then I expect they still do get it, and like they're relying on that to make their money, aren't they? Have you ever seen Scrubs? I remember watching Scrubs, and I think that was much like that. Like they'd have people in that would just come in, and like they'd send them home, and the next day they'd be back for something else. And it's just like they're relying on those people, but it's bad at the same time. Oh, I suppose you get health insurance, don't you? That would make a massive difference. See, I'm really not up to scratch on American sort of how to survive in America. I can survive in the UK, but if you send me to another country, I'll be screwed. Oh, dear. See, when I'm in hospital, like, you see, like, people come in, and it is just like, they come in and they're like, I've hurt my finger. Like, you haven't even hurt it. You've knocked it slightly. Like, there's no reason for you to be in this hospital. I don't know. Let's talk about, because I'm very strict. Yes. Yeah, I mean, the import and export laws in America are crazy strict, but you can see why. And I think, to be honest, like, it is needed for some things, but they've done it in the wrong way. You know, they've gone completely against what they should have done in like working with the community to house things correctly and make sure everything's done correctly. They've just said outright ban on everything and destroyed everyone's lives and businesses, which isn't cool. But I'm all up for working with these like authorities which want to ban everything and like say let's see what does need to be banned, because there obviously is some species that are unacceptable to look after. See what does need to be banned and see what can be monitored and just sort of kept an eye on. You know, what you should get a license for and things like that. I think in the UK we're too relaxed. Like I can pretty much get anything. I was offered a giraffe once. A giraffe. Where would I put a giraffe? Like they weren't even worried about the housing for this giraffe. They were just offering me a giraffe. It's like, all right, guys. Like, think about this for a minute. Like, the animal's welfare should come first. You can't just offer someone a giraffe, even if they are an animal lover and an animal keeper. I don't have the housing for that. Right? So I think things are too easy in the UK. I think I probably would have to get some kind of licensing for a giraffe in a ways, to be fair. But there is a lot. Like things are just too easy in the UK. You can get pretty much any snake, any lizard, any tarantula, any ants, and you don't have to even register them. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's it. You can get any snake. It is crazy, isn't it? Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can get venomous snakes. We can get like pretty much anything. Like it's crazy. Have to have a license and jump through hoops. Yeah, that's it. I think like that is the right way to go about it. Is you have to have licensing for certain things. And I think some things should be outright banned. I'm not going to say what I think because my opinion should be kept to myself. I think on this one, but you know that I don't agree with most people owning the Solenopsis invicta. It's not that they shouldn't be kept, but they need to be kept very carefully and correctly by someone who really knows what they're doing. And as you can see by Ants Canada having like I think his second or third mass escape of them now, and just about every other keeper on the internet having escapes of them, they are absolutely horrible. Like they're nightmare ants, as cool as they are, and they grow really fast. They're nightmares, and like they're invasive to a maximum degree. So things like that definitely need to be monitored a bit. You know. Good evening, not ants. We're just chatting about the sort of import laws difference between UK and America. To be honest, we're heading towards the last little bits of the stream, so it is a shame that you came in a bit late. But we're just sort of chatting. These ants, Leanne, fire ants, Solenopsis invicta. It's the fire ants you get over there. You would know all about them. Pain in the backside. They're literally everywhere. They spread like wildfire, and they're just nightmares to keep. It's getting harder in the UK to keep anything that's classed as DWA, as a lot of insurance companies won't touch people for public liability. Yes, I've noticed that actually. Prices going up on public liability as well. For a lot of people, not just me, I've seen a lot of shops there, insurances. Some of them have like tripled. Yeah, Geminata invicta, Solenopsis invicta, and Solenopsis geminata are just absolutely nightmare. Yeah, that's it, Liam. People keep fire ants, and it's like out of any ant species, they're the nightmare one. Like I've got monomoriums, I've got tetramoniums, I've got all sorts of invasive things, but I won't have them just because they're nightmares. Like I don't need them to. I've always said they're more stress than fun, and at that point, it's no longer fun. Like why would I want to keep that? You know what I mean? I've got too many ants, like to risk them getting out and killing everything, or I don't know. Well, this group is the first time I've heard about it. Yeah, very, very invasive. Right, so Ants Dorset, I've got some trapjaws, and they're the Ontimodacus monticola, or whatever you pronounce it. Your pronunciation on the videos every time is perfect. I've been doing this, how old am I now? 32. I've been doing this 16 years, 14 years. I've been doing it a long time. And I still can't pronounce most of these names. But anyways, my trapjaws, they're blimmin' boring, right? You put in like the food and they'll come out and they'll get the food and they'll drag it back in their tunnels, and that's the last you see of them. It's like, oh, well, that was a fun ordeal for 5 minutes. Literally as fast as that. If you turn away, start feeding the other colonies, you turn back, the food's gone and you've missed it. It is literally as boring as that. Like, it's a bit of a shame because they are really cool, but they don't really hunt. They don't really do a lot. Like, they literally don't hunt, which is odd. You put food in, and it's like they instantly know that it's there. But I can guarantee you, they're not hunting and actively in the outworld. Not even like the bullet ants, or definitely not like the dives. Yeah, thank you, Paul. They are boring, aren't they? Have you ever seen them come out of their tunnels, Paul? Apart from maybe once at feeding time, like probably not. I showed you them that like if we water the tank enough, it will start to flood the bottom area, and that's when you'll see them because they sort of live in caverns and stuff. Yes, they are great for shorts. I'll give you that. Yeah, but that is literally it. Like they're boring compared to so many other ants. Like I'd rather have like I love my Asian bullet ants. They're really cool. Like they're one of my favorite species, to be honest. Like because they've got all those aggressive hunting traits to them, but they don't grow out of control. They're nice big ants. They're just generally cool. Whereas I do love my Polyrhachis dives as well, but they are somewhat insane. And they're just going to keep growing and growing and growing. There's no way of really managing or controlling it. No, there's no way of stopping it. Sorry about that. There's no way of stopping it, but I've just got to manage and control it the best as I can. But yeah, so I am somewhat about to cough my guts up. I don't know why. I have got a slightly bad chest at the minute, but I won't say it's particularly too bad. We'll see how it goes. But I am going to end this stream now. If there's anything you do need from me, just send me a message. Head over to the shop and the website. Check out the website. I will try and get that sorted ASAP. Obviously, if there's any other issues, let me know straight away and I'll get them all sorted. I'm doing a massive rebuild on it, so some things work, some things don't work, and it's getting there. But feel free to head over to the website, grab yourself a quick thing tonight, and like I say, we'll still be sending out live stuff tomorrow, which we don't normally do on a Thursday, just because of that Royal Mail mess up, which has absolutely done my head in, to be honest. I'm really quite annoyed about that. And I think everyone else is who's involved. Yeah, we'll have a quick duck race. We'll do a quick duck race. But yes, duck races, duck race, that thing. Thank you. I'm about to start singing. I'm not gonna sing. I taught my two oldest girls one of Bon Jovi's songs, but they completely ruined it. Like they've changed the tune and it's ruined. We're going 10 ducks for 2 minutes. So everyone grab your numbers. If you haven't played before, all you gotta do is basically say a number that hasn't been said already. Your number will correspond to a duck on the screen. Your duck will get sent down the river. This isn't for a prize, it's just for fun. And yeah, you could win yourself a nothing. I don't know. So what else I was saying something a minute ago, I can't remember. I am absolutely knackered. I'm probably going to go straight to sleep after this. Right, so here we go. We got Viking duck, pirate duck, star purple duck. Don't trust that one there. Don't trust him. Astronaut duck. Right. Is he an astronaut or is he a really old diver ready to go there? You know the ones, the dum ones. Yeah, we got a Statue of Liberty duck, a strawberry head duck. This one's going to team up. I'm not going to. Yeah, And we got the Robber Duck. No, that's Zorro Duck. I always get him confused. I've got to stop being so fast to judge him just because he's got a bandana on. Like, let's get this race underway before I get in trouble. Good luck, everybody. See the dead on charge. We'll tell you who wins then, Cat. Don't worry. It's Interstellar Duck. I like that. I'm gonna stick with that. Well done, Paul. You've just renamed that. Oh, I've got a coffee. It's gone cold. Oh no. Cold coffee it is then. Well, that was interesting. I know. It's like I live on a few things. I live on sugar, coffee, and energy drinks, and they gotta be right. You know what I mean? We'll go with the cold coffee for now. We can't say no. We can't waste good coffee. It's like the main thing. Statue. You think that's quite fitting? We could say, isn't it? Are you an ant then? What, because of the sugars and stuff? I suppose. I think I need more concentrated sugar than ants do. Well, I literally, I'm not diabetic or anything, but I feel like I could be. Like the amount of, if I don't have enough sugar, I'm just like, oh my god, I'm going. All right, here we go. Good luck, everyone. Last 10 seconds. All the ducks are pushing down for that last bit of energy, digging deep. Boom. Well done, number 6, Strawberry Head Duck. That was not ants. Well done. So I'm afraid there is no prize for this one. Yeah, but well done. I think we will put some prizes in one of the streams coming up soon. Just because, why not? We like to throw up prizes. In fact, we've nearly got 250 members on our Ants on a Rock Facebook group. So feel free to join it if you haven't. It's the Ants on the Rock community. So we will. That's still going. We will be doing a giveaway probably when we reach 250, probably when we do 500, etc., as well. If you're not in it, get in it. And then the other thing was we're doing our big, obviously, product release at the end of the month. Massive thing. I can't want to do a big song and dance about it. So we'll probably do a sale to go alongside of it as well. And yeah, it's going to be spectacular. I think so, anyways. If you need me for anything, send me a message and I will get back to you as soon as possible. You know, I'm super busy at the minute, but I will always try and spare time for you when I can. You know where I am. I'm on Facebook and Instagram and pretty much everywhere and on the website. I don't know. You can find me if you need me. You know where I am. Massive thank you to everyone for joining in tonight. And thank you to the Patreon supporters. Thank you to my sponsors. And thank you everything in general. I'm absolutely knackered. My brain is literally, I can't even think anymore. It's like, it's the weirdest feeling going on right now. I can't even tell you. But yeah, brilliant. Back to bed for me. I will speak to you all again soon. Loving you and leaving you. That's it. As always for me. I'll see you again soon, Ant fans. Good night. We got there in the end. Wow.